You fell into our trap. Hey guys, it's Cypress, and Fell Harbor is currently adulting. She is working on a work project that is very important for the company, and she worked all through the weekend and is working long days this week and of course last week as well. So we haven't been able to play Niche because when she's finally done, she's just exhausted. Not to put all of it on her, but just showing that sometimes real life gets in the way. But we didn't want to give up on posting because again, we are so enjoying our Niche series, and we also just enjoy YouTube in general. So I wanted to post something just simple and sweet, just to kind of give you content, keep us in your algorithm, but then also to kind of tide over. Hopefully we'll be able to go back to our original schedule where we used to post on Saturdays, because Fridays were really good for us to kind of wind down from the day and relax and play some Niche, and it really fit really well. So we're hoping to get into that schedule again. So this is just kind of like a placeholder. So I thought it might be kind of fun to talk about Niche and Stray Fawn Studios as a whole, as an entity, rather than the specifics of, you know, the nichelings in our game. So Niche, the video game, its full title is Niche, a genetics survival game. It's an indie simulation video game developed and published by Stray Fawn Studio. And it was released on Steam Early Access on September 15th, 2016, after a successful Kickstarter crowdfunding campaign. So Niche's main aim is to breed certain traits or genes into a group of canine or feline creatures to make the pack genetically perfect for its environment. And no, I didn't memorize all of that. Everything I'm reading is coming from Wikipedia. If you do like these sort of research type videos, I of course can write something up. I used to want to do that, especially with like true crime, but there's so many good ones out there. I'm like, I don't think you need another one. But if there's ever any interest in learning more about a video game or a series or a company, let me know and I can dig a bit deeper. So just getting back into the development of Niche, it was crowdfunded on Kickstarter, which I think is so fantastic that just a group of people with a passion and a desire can actually put it together. It doesn't have to be, you know, I was going to say BioShock. BioWare? What am I thinking about? There's a company out there that is ginormous, and as soon as I was going to name it, I completely forgot about it, but that's okay. But, you know, Konami and, you know, just Nintendo in general, like, it doesn't have to be this big thing. It can just be an indie game, like I'd said. Naturally, as you might have suspected, it was inspired by Creatures, Spore, and Don't Starve. And actually, Don't Starve is kind of a surprise to me. It makes sense because there is like the hunger portions, but I don't know, I didn't really, to me, the gameplay that I've seen from Don't Starve, I can see it now. I just wouldn't have guessed previously. The game was released out of early access on September 21st, 2017. So it started in 2016 and almost a complete year in September, or 1 year. 2016. And then a complete year in 2017, that's when it actually went out to full access. So it came out September 15th, and then the full access was on the 21st of September in 1 year. So that's pretty impressive. I mean, it's just 1 year of, you know, beta. And again, this is an indie game. Like, that's really fantastic. So now I want to take a brief moment to discuss Stray Fawn Studio in general, it as a company in general. So there is not too much on the About Us section of Stray Fawn Studio's website. For those interested, the website is strayfawnstudio.com. I will put the link in the description. But Stray Fawn Studio is an independent game studio from Zurich, Switzerland, founded by Misha Stetler and Philomena Schwab. Our focus, it reads, is the development of our 2 PC games, Niche, a genetic survival game, and Nimbatus. Sounds like Nimbus, which is a cloud. I don't know. A space drone constructor. Both projects focus on procedural world generation and creative freedom of the player in the form of creating their own animal species, niche, and designing their own their own drones, Nimbatus. Let me know how you pronounce it in the description down below. I was really interested to see when they actually started. I don't see that on Wikipedia, and I didn't see it on their website. But it is really interesting. They probably did start around 2016 when they released Niche through the Kickstarter. I think it's really fun that they have on a section on their website, YouTuber/streamer, where they welcome people to actually play their games and stream them and share them. I think that is so fantastic when, the producer of a game is so supportive of that community. They also have a great community page as well. So I really actually wanted to also introduce, because I was not aware that Fawn Studio had any other games. I thought it really was just Niche. So I wanted to briefly cover, they have 4 games out now on their website. So first, Niche, a genetics survival game, is a turn-based strategy game combined with simulation and survival elements for PC, Mac, and Linux. Shape your own species of animals based on real genetics. Keep your species alive against all odds, such as predators, climate change, and spreading sickness. I don't know why, but species is such a hard thing for me to say. I keep wanting to put, I don't know. The other one that they had mentioned in their About Us was Nimbatus. I don't know. The Space Drone Constructor is a procedurally generated action simulation game. Craft freely customizable drones and explore an endless universe. Drones interact with the destructible environment in a physically correct manner. On your journey, you will find hundreds of different drone components and research groundbreaking new technology. That sounds super cool if you're into space and that kind of stuff, like mecha, anime and that kind of stuff. It sounds like it's a lot like that kind of engineering type of stuff, which is super cool. Not really my niche, but it does sound really cool, and it sounds like it's really well made. They're really thought out stuff. So they also have something called Retimed, and just the picture of it reminds me of Adventure Time. Retimed is a local multiplayer arena shooter for 2 to 4 players. When a player is in danger, time slows down and a time bubble is created around the player. Now there is enough time to react and try to dodge the deadly projectiles. These time bubbles generate exciting alternations between fast-paced movement and tension-filled slow-motion movements. Retimed is being developed by Team Maniacs and published by Fawn Studio. So I think that is super cool that they are actually combining and being developed by a different company and produced by Fawn. So Team Maniacs is one to kind of look out for, I guess. Again, I've never heard of them, but I haven't heard a lot of things. I can't even remember the big name that I was thinking of. So, but it's so fascinating that, again, with enough creativity and passion, you can really make anything happen. So the last one that I wanted to talk about is the one that I'm most excited about. Of course, we love Niche, but we already know about Niche. So I wanted to point out to you The Wandering Village. The Wandering Village is a city-building simulation game with survival and roguelike elements. Build a village on the back of a giant, wandering creature. Farm crops and forage resources to keep your villagers alive, and form a symbiotic relationship with your giant host to survive together in a hostile yet beautiful post-apocalyptic world. I love, again, that is bringing like Avatar: The Last Airbender into my mind for some reason, but it comes back to the idea that Earth is on the back of a tortoise or a turtle, which I think goes back into way Eastern philosophy, so I'm not going to show my ignorance by talking about that. But I think that is such an interesting concept of you have a symbiotic relationship with the actual living being that you're living on. That is such a fantastic and fascinating and fanciful, and what other F words are there? Ooh, don't say that. But I think that's so cool. And kind of looking at it more like the art style is so beautiful. So clicking on the actual game, you can see a city building game with a unique touch. Become the leader of a human settlement and build a symbiotic relationship with your gigantic host to survive together. In a world where mysterious plants are spreading all over the earth, emitting toxic spores as they grow, a group of people is driven from their village. Searching for a place to stay, they seek shelter on the back of a giant wandering creature they call Onbu. Their fates intertwine, and they have to keep not only themselves, but each other alive on their long trek in search of a place where they can settle down. Form a relationship with a beast. I love this. Even though your villagers will need to harvest materials from the creature's body, you'll have to keep it strong and healthy to make sure that it keeps on walking, away from the spores, and hopefully towards a safer place. I'm sorry, Cecily is scratching, but I don't have room. This is my recording studio, so she just would not be comfortable in here with me. So then looking at their little graphics, this is so adorable. You can build a village on the back of a giant creature, farm various crops to feed your villagers, send out foraging missions to gather rare resources, survive a variety of different biomes and events, build a relationship with a giant and command its actions. And it blends unique 3D and hand-drawn, hand-animated 2D graphics, which you can definitely tell, like it does look like a moving art piece. It's really, really beautiful, actually. Shape the destiny of a long-lost tribe. Every decision you make affects not only your settlement, but the creature as well. Balance their needs to make sure your villagers can survive and maybe even thrive in this hostile yet beautiful post-apocalyptic world that now surrounds them. So this is super cool. Deandrew, I wonder, shout out if you've heard of this one. I know that you're kind of giving them some ideas of games. Going to Steam, it looks like TBD is the release date. So you can add it to your wish list. but they don't actually have a release date yet. So that is super exciting. So we have to stay tuned. I would love to play that, and that sounds like something that is right up Felt Harbor's alley. So we'll be sure to check that out as soon as it comes out. If you're interested in us playing Nimbatus or Retimed, we can definitely do at least like a one-off game. I know the Retimed is a multiplayer arena. It's like a shooter game, so I don't know how much storyline there is. That might just be literally a one-off. And Nimbatus sounds really interesting, but I know that like the mecha drones, like Star Wars type stuff isn't really my forte or my preference of video games. I like fantasy, like the dragons, like Wandering Village is right there. But of course, we can definitely try it out. I mean, I love, the more you share, the more other people can see it, and it might totally, be someone's cup of tea. So, yeah, doesn't hurt to try it out. But that will do it for me today. This is really short, as I said. Probably could have been shorter, but I just wanted to read those to you because sometimes you don't think about like actually going and looking into that, especially, a lot of times, at least I will be doing like a craft or working while I'm watching a video. So that time you're multitasking. So having me read you the information, you might get the information that you might not have originally gotten. Wow, that was a really long run-on sentence. We will definitely be back. We are trying to get back into a filming schedule. It is just 2021 has hit us hard with work. We are busy in the best of ways, I guess. Not so best of ways. We definitely have job security. Let's just put it that way. Our jobs are not going anywhere. We are definitely needed. But unfortunately, that means that we don't have a lot of free time anymore these days. So we are working on that because YouTube and entertaining is our passion. But we do ask for your continued patience until we get back into a more routine. So until next time, we will pick this up after the drop. Post-apocalyptic. Post-apocalyptic.